Hi, I'm Sam. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to give you 10 tips on how to ensure you have a full and rewarding British Army career like I've done. 22 years, retired, getting my pension. It is awesome. So, tip number one is just don't moan all the time. That's all you get. Shimfers, we call them in the military. Absolute shim. You see people shimfing all the time, moaning all the time. They get a reputation for moaning all of the time. And as you move up through the ranks, that's when it can really stop you from getting promoted, essentially. If you're always moaning, everyone will see you moaning. What you want to be is a happy-go-lucky guy or girl who just gets on with the job and people see you getting on with the job. And that will just really boost your confidence because people will ask you to do stuff for them. They will like being around you as well. And then you can go and moan in your own time with your mates, but just don't be the guy who's always walking around moaning. Tip number two. Tip number two is don't think you always know best. I've met loads of these people who always think they know best. And on occasion, they do know best. That's absolutely fine. If you know that someone's doing something wrong and they've been in the army longer than you, then yeah, fair play, go up, talk to them. But don't be that guy who doesn't listen when they're being taught or there's an instructor there teaching you something. Don't think you always know best because you get a reputation for that as well. If you do think you know best sometimes, just keep it to yourself and just see if you do actually know best. Just wait for that lesson to finish or wait for that bit of instruction to finish. And if you think you can do it a better way, go ahead, do it a better way. But don't think you always know best because sometimes what you don't want to do is embarrass yourself, and you certainly don't want to embarrass any instructors or anyone that higher rank than you, essentially, because that can be bad for you as well as you're going through your career. So it's best just always be modest, and then if you do think you can do something a different way, just have a go at it then, but don't just stand out and start calling people out when you think you know best. Tip number three. Okay, tip number three is graft. Work hard at everything that you do. Even if you're on ops, even if you're on exercise, even if you've had a long day and you end up getting called back to go and do some work, just graft, just do it. Because sometimes those who are grafting, yes, I was terrible for it. The guys who grafted the most, I would always give them the jobs. But they were the ones who always got promoted the quickest. If you're a grafter, that just goes so far when it comes to promotion as well, rather than someone who's work shy, shies away from doing any job whatsoever. They generally won't get promoted as quickly unless they're a bit of a brown nose. But generally, if you graft, then the cream will always rise to the top. Tip number four. I know I made a video about this one before. Volunteer. Just volunteer for things. Not everything. Don't volunteer for everything, but every now and again, volunteer. Volunteer for exercise. You can always go away and volunteer to go on ops, volunteer to go on courses. If you volunteer now and again, there's a chance that sometimes your hierarchy will give you some of the good jobs that they need people filling in for as well. And it fills out your SJI, your annual report, at the end of the year as well. Tip number five, CPD, continuous professional and personal development. There is so much opportunity in the military for you to personally grow, not and professionally, but also personally grow. You can do you can do your degrees, you can do a master's in the military. If you need more GCSEs, you can go and do that. If you want to do A-levels, you can go and do that. You can get qualifications, which if you're thinking about going into a different trade, which might mean you need better qualifications, you can just go and get them through the military and they'll pay for the majority of that. So whatever happens, continually grow in the army. The one thing I wish I had done in the army was get a master's degree. I didn't. I was foolish. If you get the opportunity to get any qualification, especially a degree and a master's degree. You've got to grab it with both hands and go for it. Tip number 6, keep fit. Just keep fit. It is not hard to keep fit, okay? Do your fizz that you will have programmed into your workday and go and do a little bit extra. Some people struggle with PT, I get that. If you struggle with PT, get fitter, stop eating chocolate and crisps, get off the booze, get to a good standard of fitness, then you know how much you can eat and drink from there. But the key is keeping fit. You haven't got to be the fittest. You don't have to be the fittest. But if you're in the top third for fitness on everything that you do, and you can pass all the fitness tests, it makes life so much easier for you. And also, that's another line that can go in your annual report. Now, tip number 7 is something that you will have to do when you're a senior, sergeant and above, but I highly recommend learning to do this beforehand, and that is writing to military conventions, your JSP 101. You need to learn how to do that as soon in your career as possible. It'll help you when you get tasked to write in admin orders, operational orders, exercise orders, anything like that, a loose minute, anything like that. If you can get that, if you can get to grips with that early on in your career as possible, you'll be the go-to guy. You will be the go-to guy that people come to help them write their exercise orders or their admin orders, operational orders, anything like that. You want to be the go-to guy. You need to know what you're doing with that, because some people, they just cannot get to grips with it, and you'll go on courses as you go through your career and you will have to write in the military convention, and some people find it really difficult because you're learning as you get older. You've already got tons of bad habits when it comes with writing anyway, so you need to get to grips with that as soon as possible. Tip number 8, don't always go on the sick. Don't always go on the sick or on the biff. Get a biff check. People who are on the sick all the time, they get made fun of. It's a fact that they've got like a laminated biff chicks. They just pull it out whenever they don't want to do anything. You don't want to be that person. Don't always go on the sick. If you've got an injury, a genuine injury, and you're on the sick, people will know you have got a genuine injury. But if you're always going on the sick and getting a chit in lieu because you've got a bad ankle or a bad knee where really you haven't, you just don't want to go on that steady state run at 6 o'clock in the morning, it gets noticed. It gets noticed by absolutely everyone. And that one day where you are injured, people still won't believe you. So only go on the sick if you have to. It'll make a world of difference. Tip number 9, spend your money wisely. Spend your money very wisely. If you're a single soldier in the military, you're making bank, you need to save your money. Don't go buying expensive cars. Think about the future. If you're single, you're going in, and you probably will end up with a spouse at some point and some children. You need to start saving for that now. You need to get on the housing market as soon as you can. Or you need to be buying and investing in, perhaps buying in gold, investing in stocks and shares with your bank. Just invest your money wisely. Have fun with your money. Go for those nights out with the lads, because they are absolutely epic. I get that. You need to invest as well, and you need to think about the future. Don't go buying super expensive cars. All they do is depreciate, and you're paying hand over fist for insurance and fuel these days as well. Spend your money wisely, plan for the future. Tip number 10, excel at what you're good at. Now, I know I've spoken about fizz and writing. If you're really good at fizz, excel at fizz. Become the best you can be. Go and do lots of arduous courses. Go and become a PTI. Go and do P Company. Go and try the Special Forces. Go and try for the All Arms Commando. Go for it if that's what you're good at. If you're not, then become great at something else. Become great at writing those admin orders. Become a great marksman. Become an instructor with CBRN. Go and do the things that you can excel at, and don't try and go and do the things that you can excel at, because a lot of the time it can get you down if you're not passing those tests or you're not passing those courses as well. So try and excel at what you're good at. And now, for the bonus one, always look smart. Always try and look smart. Iron your kit. Don't look like a bag of spanners every day, because a well-ironed kit on a soldier can hide a world of problems on that soldier. If he's really bad at something, as long as he looks smart and he's giving it a go, you know what? Some people just overlook it because he looks professional. So look smart, don't look like a bag of spanners, and a lot of the time that can cover up a lot of the cracks. If you follow all of these steps, I can't guarantee that you're going to have an amazing career, but what it will do is certainly help you on your way. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Other than that, like and subscribe. I'll see you soon. Bye.